Yeah, it's a miracle got the recording to work.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you have the code.
Yep.
Um, actually, did you have any you want to look at in particular, Andy? Since you don't have much time, any hips, that is.
I didn't. I just wanted to just make sure I got a pulse of what you guys are talking about because I haven't had a chance to do it yet. So,
Um,
What?
so yeah, well, let's talk about this one then, since since it's been there for a while, and I have an interest in it, of course. Uh, I
A
guess.
quick question is
Yep.
why are the hips PRs? I just don't understand enough of the what are they PRs to?
they're
So
PRs
they
to the community repo, and then
Okay.
and then they get approved, and then they end up on the website.
Oh, I see. So yeah,
Yeah,
I get it. Like, got it. Okay. And they probably get assigned numbers as they're approved. Is that right?
exactly. So you get no number initially. You do like 999 or something, and then
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they're assigned, they get an official number.
Got it. Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, they also have a life cycle in that this starts off as draft,
Mhm.
um, and and then it can be merged as a draft hit, and then it might get rejected later or accepted.
Yep.
Cool.
Um, also means you don't have to look at the YAML. So, uh, are you fam are you familiar with server side apply here? Anyone is familiar with? I assume you might know what server side apply is, Andy.
I know what it is. Do I know the intimate details of it? Probably not.
Um, so it's so the basic problem that we're trying to solve is that if you have an object which gets modified, so the classic situation is you have horizontal pod autoscaler, so you send a deployment into the cluster, and then the horizontal pod autoscaler um, comes along and says, hey, this deployment needs 15 replicas and sets the replicas to 15. But this creates like a management tension that if you've got a chart which is deploying, number of replicas into the cluster, then every time you upgrade your chart might have one. So your chart get applied, your upgraded new object, and your replicas will flip down to one. Kubernetes will obviously update that, and then you'll have an outage while your system is highly overloaded. Then the HPA will kick in and be like, "Hey, this thing's way overloaded," so it'll scale it back up to 15. Um, so that's your classic um, situation where server side apply. Well, sorry, where you've got like a management tension between two things which are trying to update the same object. Uh, Helm largely fixed this problem with three-way strategic merge patch, which means you take the manifest, which was previously deployed uh,
Mhm.
from the release. You take the new version, and then you take the version in the cluster, and you reconcile these two things, and you create like a change set to push into the cluster. This is the strategic merge and patch. Um, And the three-way is those, new resource, old resource, and existing resource. Uh, Kubernetes saw this and built it into Kubernetes. And this has some advantages. If the API server understands this directly, it means that you can actually have multiple
I
actors
assume there
acting
are
on
merge conflicts from time to time. Yeah.
yes, there can be. I'll get to that in a second. Well, there's conflicts here. What I'm trying to find is the field manager. Field management. So it allows you to have a concept of field manager. So there has to be someone who creates the object originally, and then everybody else like sends, and when they make the API call, they specify their field manager name. Um, and this allows a controller to send a, maybe it's in the other one. Where's my No. Oh, oh, sorry, this one. I think the blog might have the. I'm trying to find the example. There's a nice example somewhere. So basically, you create an object, and when the HPA controller wants to update the object, basically what it does is it creates a YAML fragment, which is like your deployments with your group vision kind, and then spec, and the only field in that spec is the replicas, and it sends effectively that object to the API server. Under the hood, it creates a patch with the things to modify. But the key thing is when you submit it, you have a field manager. And why can't I find the nice documentation which shows this? Manager. I'm trying to find the nice.
The field management, there is one that has field management.
Yeah. So okay, so maybe this is good. So if you send this to the API server as like a charts, and then this is what I was trying to find. So then the HPA can send just this YAML document effectively to the API server itself with just replicas 3, and that will take ownership of this field